Okay, folks. So I'm going to add one more bite to this rare disease series that we're doing, because while the camera is off, I'm having conversations with Joanna, and Joanna is, it's just staggering as she tells me different things. But one of the things that was really most staggering is how this affects your life, every day, and what you just said to me off camera, that you lose friends every winter. Mm-hmm. Because of flu and colds. And so why don't you talk a little bit about some of the things you have to avoid?
Well, some of the things I avoid are hospitals and schools,
so
private
you're
places.
Afraid to go to a hospital because there's a virus or a bacteria in that hospital that will latch onto you and could possibly kill you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So my disease, because it's of my immune system, and I have a total of 10 medical conditions. So they do shape a lot of my decisions in ways that most people wouldn't even realize.
Okay, so we hear, all right, we hear that when a healthy person goes to a hospital, we have that same problem. We can get sick from it. And I think they said that a doctor's tie, is very infectious, because they touch other patients, they touch their tie or whatever, so their tie is the breeding grounds. So if a normal person has that possibility of getting sick because they went to a hospital, it is a deadly thing for you. It is,
and it is a deadly thing for the general population too. Hospital-borne infections are a big issue too.
And so what do you can't stay home. So I mean, even here in this studio, the possibility exists that you could pick up an infection, or I might be coming down with a cold or something like that.
The flu is contagious 24 hours before there's any symptoms.
Wow.
So
how do you manage? How do you do? How do you live?
That's the thing. Everything I do is measured like risk versus reward. I decide, well, how important is it for me to do this? In the summer, I can be a lot more normal, but I also have a rare skin disease. So I can't be in the sun. I'm not supposed to be outside before 4 p.m.
I met you at the beach.
Yeah.
It was like in 2012, and I was doing some campaigning.
Yeah, that was before my skin disease. Yeah.
Wow.
That was before the skin disease. So
you were out there with a booth, and you were talking about rare diseases.
Absolutely. So that I had to cut back on. I do now, if anything, the National Night Out, because that's a afternoon to evening event at the beach. So I'm allowed out after 4 p.m. So just on the primary immune deficiency disease, it shapes everything you do, because you're weighing risk versus reward. Am I going to get sick? And you do have to be careful about.
So do you think about, am I going to get sick, or do you say, is this going to kill me?
Well,
which one?
There's the element of both. I mean, in general, the rest of the year, because I'm a good responder to the treatment for my disease, which is immune globulin. I'm not always worried about dying. But flu season, you see sometimes healthy 25-year-olds die of the flu.
Right. Without any rare
certainly
diseases.
People with my disease, it's definitely much, you get afraid. And I am more careful. So it limits even, like I was explaining all the different hats someone with a rare disease has to wear, that you're an advocate, you're an expert, you're trying to...
teach your doctor what's going on.
Teach your doctors, you're trying to reach out to lawmakers, you're trying to keep on top of the latest research. And I try to do that actually without being around too many people. So it's kind of an impossible thing.
So think about it like this, folks. Every day you wake up and you have to make the decision, should I go outside my house today on this particular day in particular, depending on the weather, the temperature, how many other people might be sick, is it flu season?
Is it indoor, is it outdoor?
Is it indoor and outdoor? So every day you have to make the actual decision of whether or not to step out your door, because if you do, it could possibly lead to your death.
Yeah, and the one time, which there isn't a current immune globulin shortage, so I'm glad we're mentioning this. So the one time that I do always get nervous is if there's an immune globulin shortage. If I'm directly affected by it, I become completely homebound. So that's why it's very important to always donate blood. Right now there is a plasma shortage. So there are patients like me right now during flu season that are getting a half a dose of their treatment because there isn't enough to give them the whole dose.
Okay. So,
I happen to be getting everything that I need right now, but I've been affected by shortages in the past. And it really has helped because not only do you have to give up anything that you normally do, like food shopping. Normally I go to food shopping, I go to the gym once a week. There's a few little things I do even if I'm not super social. I had to give that up for over a month once. And also you grow weaker weaker, sicker. It's pretty scary. So that's something that's kind of always hanging over the head of a patient with primary immune deficiency disease.
There's really not much, I can add to the words that you're saying, so we're going to end that right there. But everybody really needs to think about that opening your door and going outside and doing and living your life as anybody else would is something that could possibly bring an end to your life. With this selection or collection of rare diseases that you have and 250,000 other Americans.
Absolutely. And if you're eligible to donate blood, please consider doing it, because you do save lives and you give people the ability to go. It gives me a temporary immune system every week. It gives me the ability to do things like come here today or raise awareness, to spend time with my family, to do things that I need to do.
All right, give blood, folks. So that seems to be an important thing. Blood is the gift of life, literally is the gift of life. Thank you very much, Sam Pirozzolo and Joanna Tierno with Right Bites TV. Have a good day.